This is episode 1, Trigonometric Functions. To begin, sine and cosine. We've got a point here that's called p theta. P theta is defined by two components. You've got the x component and the y component. Right, x, y. This y component is defined by sine theta. Sine theta is the y component of p theta, and cosine theta is the x component of p theta. To convert an angle from radian form to degree form, use this formula. 1c equals 180 degrees over pi. And if you're trying to convert from degree form to radian form, use this formula. 1 degree equals pi c over 180. Let's get started. 720 times pi over 180. Let's cancel the zeros. What are the common factors? We've got 6, so 3, 12. This equals 12 pi on 3. Let's divide this by 3, 1, 4. This equals 4 pi. Next, 540 times pi over 180. Let's cancel the zeros. The common factor is 6, 3, 9. This equals 9 pi on 3. Let's divide once again. 1, 3. This equals 3 pi. Negative 450. Negative 450 times pi over 180. Let's cancel the 0. The common factor here is 6. No, sorry, it's 3. Yes, 3, 6, 15. This equals negative 15 pi on 6. We've got the common factor of 3, so let's cancel again. 2, 5. This equals negative 5 pi on 2. Next, 15 degrees. 15 times pi over 180. The common factor here is 5, so let's do this. Okay, 5. 36, 3. This equals 3 pi on 36. The common factor here is 3. Let's cancel 12, 1. This is pi over 12. Next one. Negative 10 times pi over 180. Let's cancel 0. This equals negative pi on 18. Next, negative 315 times pi over 180. Let's divide by 3. The common factor is 3. 60, 105. This equals negative 105 pi over 60. The common factor is 5, 12, 21. This equals negative 21 pi on 12. Common factor here is 3, 4, 7. This equals negative 7 pi on 4. Next, convert the following angles from radians to degrees. Now let's use the other formula. 5 pi on 4 times 180 over pi this time equals, let's cancel pi. Common factor here is 2, 90. This equals 5 times 90 over 2. Let's divide again. 1, 45. This equals 5 times 45. This equals 225 degrees. Next, negative 2 pi on 3 times 180 over pi. Let's cancel pi. Divide by 3 here. 160. This equals negative 2 times 60. This equals negative 120 degrees. 7 pi on 12. 7 pi on 12 times 180 over pi. Let's cancel pi. Common factor here is 6, so 2, 30. This equals 7 times 30 over 2. This equals 7 times 15. Let's break this up. This equals 70 plus 35, which equals 105 degrees. Negative 11 pi on 6. Negative 11 pi on 6 times 180 over pi. Let's cancel pi here. The common factor is 6. Let's cancel this. 1, 30. Negative 11 times 30 equals negative 330 degrees. 13 pi on 9 times 180 over pi. Let's cancel pi. Common factor here is 9, so 1, 20, 13 times 20 equals 130 times 2, which equals 260 degrees. Next one, negative 11 pi on 12 times 180 over pi. Let's cancel pi. Common factor here is 6, so 2, 30. This equals negative 11 times 30 over 2. This equals negative 330 over 2. And this equals negative. This equals negative 165 degrees. Next, find the exact value of each of the following. Okay, let's do this. Cosine 3 pi on 2. Okay, let's just draw a diagram here. Okay, 3 pi on 2, this is our unit circle. Cosine 3 pi on 2. Okay, let's break this up. Pi on 2, 2 pi on 2, 3 pi on 2. Over here, we've got a value for sine but no value for cosine. So cosine 3 pi on 2 equals 0. Sine negative pi on 2. Negative pi on 2 is 90 degrees, so let's work backwards. This is the origin, negative pi on 2. Sine, as per the unit circle, let me just draw this up. Okay, 1, negative 1. As per the unit circle, sine negative pi on 2 equals negative 1. Cosine 6 pi. Okay, let's break this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cosine 6 pi is 1. Sine 15 pi on 2. Okay, let's break this up. 1 pi on 2, 2 pi on 2, 3 pi on 2, 4 pi on 2, 5 pi on 2, 6 pi on 2, 7 pi on 2, 8 pi on 2, 9 pi on 2, 10 pi on 2, 11 pi on 2, 12 pi on 2, 13 pi on 2, 14 pi on 2, and 15 pi on 2. Alright, 15 pi on 2 is here. As for the unit circle, again, 15 pi on 2, the exact value is negative 1. Find the exact value of each of the following. Sine 270. To make this easier for ourselves, let's break this up. Sine 270, to find the exact value, would be sine 180 plus 90. So this is the same as sine 180 plus 90. This is the exact value. And as per the unit circle, this is negative 1. As per the unit circle, the exact value of sine 270 is negative 1. Cosine negative 40 is the same as cosine negative 360 minus 180. This means you're going a full 360 degrees in the negative direction, and then you're going a further 180 degrees. This brings us to this value of cosine. As per the unit circle, cosine at this point is -1. Sine 450. Sine 450 degrees equals sine 360 plus 90. So essentially you're going a full rotation, then a further 90 degrees. At this point we have a value for sine. It's just 1. There's no cosine value, just a sine value. Cosine 720. Cosine 720 is the same as cosine 360, meaning the value of cosine after 2 full revolutions, and that brings you here. Cosine is 1. Write down the values of sine -90. Okay, let's do this. We've got a diagram here. Sine -90, so negative pi on 2, is this. The exact value for this is -1. Okay. Cosine -180, so we're going one full 180 degree rotation in the negative direction. This brings us here. Cosine is -1. Tan 360. This is one full rotation. At tan 360, on a side note, tan theta is sine theta divided by cosine theta. At this point, cosine theta is 1, but sine theta is 0, so there's no value for tan 360. So tan 360 equals 0. Sine 450. Sine 450, again, is the same as 360 plus 90 degrees. So this is sine 360 plus 90. Over here, sine has a value of 1. So sine 450 is 1. Cosine -270. Cosine -270 is the same as cosine -180 minus 90. Let's do this. 180, -180, and -90. Cosine -270 has no value. There's no value for x at this point. X is 0, meaning cosine is 0, and y, as in sine theta, is 1. So cosine -270 equals 0. Tan -180. At -180 over here, cos theta has a value of -1, but sine theta has no value. At this point, if we make this p theta, for example, there's no value for sine theta, it's just cos theta. So at this point, tan theta has a value of 0. Sine 540. Sine 540 is the same as doing sine 360. Let's make this up. Sine 360 plus 180. So we're talking one full revolution plus 180. At this point, there's no value for sine theta, only a value for cos theta. At this point, cosine is -1 and sine is 0. Cosine 270. 90, 180, 270. Cosine is 0. Sine -450. This equals sine. Sine -360 minus 90. So we're going one full rotation in the negative direction, minus 90. Sine over here is -1. Cosine 810. Cosine 810 is the same as cosine 720 plus 90. So we're going 2 full rotations, 360, 720 plus 90. At this point, cosine has no value and sine theta is 1. So cosine 810 equals 0. Last question. We're doing the same thing except the angles are in radians. Sine 3 pi on 2. Okay. This is sine pi on 2, sine 2 pi on 2, which is pi, sine 3 pi on 2. Over here, sine equals -1. Cosine 0 is at this point. At 0 degrees, cosine equals 1. Tan pi. Pi is the same as 180 degrees. Correct. So, at this point, cos theta is equal to -1, and sine theta is 0, so tan pi equals 0. Sine negative pi on 2. Sine negative pi on 2 is this. Sine negative pi on 2. At this point, sine equals -1. Cosine pi. Cosine pi is 180 degrees. At this point, cosine pi is -1. Tan negative 2 pi is 1 pi, 2 pi. 2 pi in the negative direction. At this point, cos theta equals 1 and sine theta is 0, so tan negative 2 pi equals 0.